Hello and welcome to our channel. Today we are going to talk about the future Queen KATE Middleton. Certainly, at the moment, she isn't the main newsmaker, but nevertheless, every year Kate is gaining more and more weight in the royal family and Great Britain in general. And time is running inexorably, bringing closer the moment when she becomes a queen consort. And, by the way, she will be the first queen consort with a higher education. As you may already know, Catherine's family doesn't belong to the British aristocracy. Her father comes from the middle class and her mother comes from the kind of a coal miners. Although the Middleton family was never poor, they were never aristocrats. But today we will not consider a detailed biography of Kate. We will pay attention only to the most interesting facts from her life. On the maternal line, the origin of the Duchess in her family were miners, builders, butchers, bakers, and even servants. But her father has a richer pedigree. Biographers managed to find among the distant ancestors of Mike Middleton even viscounts and baronets, and moreover, even further in the past, through the 5th or 10th tribe of the Middletons and Windsors, turned out to be a common relative. This is King Edward III, who ruled in the 14th century. Also, in 2010, it turned out that the Middleton family has common ancestor with George Washington, first President of the United States of America. Of course, Kate is only a very distant relative of the first American president, but nevertheless. By the way, a relationship was also discovered between her and Guy Ritchie. As a child, the future Duchess of Cambridge lived for a short period in Jordan. However, it's unlikely that the Duchess has any memories of this, because then she was only 2 years old and her sister Pippa was 8 months. The girl's father was offered a good position at the British Airways office in Amman, and he didn't want to lose this opportunity. And the family returned to the UK 2.5 years later. In the family, the little Kate was called Squeak. Communicating with British school children, the Duchess recalled that as a child she had 2 guinea pigs, and one of them was called Pip in honor of her sister Pippa, and another Squeak, because that was her domestic nickname. When Kate was 11, she went to a theatre studio. There, she played Eliza Doolittle in the play of Pygmalion. By the way, Kate sings very well. Let's listen.
Enormous chair, wouldn't it be lovely? Lots of chocolate for me to eat. Lots of carmike and lots of it.
Yes, this role was pathetic. After the wedding with Prince William, the press wrote that Kate is just like a Cinderella who married a prince from the palace. So this role was certainly faithful. Catherine played a beautiful girl with whom the prince was in love, and you won't believe those prince was called William. After graduating from college, Catherine didn't go to the university, but she decided to take a year off from her studies. During this time, she managed to live in 2 countries. In Italy, where she attended a 12-week training program. There Kate studied Italian and history of art at the British Institute. And by the way, she paid for her own education. Kate also managed to live in Chile, where she participated in a volunteer program which helps people in remote areas. As you see, Kate lived a very ordinary life and even went to work. The future wife of the prince worked as a buy assistant in one of London's boutiques. She worked there for about 1 year. Catherine always liked sports. Her favorite sports are tennis, volleyball, climbing, hiking, hockey, yacht sports. As a schoolgirl, Catherine set a 6 high jump record. While in the college, she was the captain of the women's hockey team. For sports achievements, Kate was even awarded by the Duke of Edinburgh. Despite the fact that her status is supposed to have a personal chief, Kate loves to cook for her family by herself. A few years ago, she even graduated from the culinary courses of the famous London school. By the way, the Duchess, among other things, also completed makeup courses, and she made her makeup for her wedding by herself. Now Kate is known as the Duchess of Cambridge, but in April 2011, when Kate married the grandson of Queen Elizabeth II, Prince William, she received several titles. The one which we know now very well, Her Royal Highness the Duchess of Cambridge. Another title, the Scottish title, is the Countess of Stratton, and the title for the Northern Ireland is the Lady Carrick-Fergus. And despite the fact that Catherine is a wife of a prince, she cannot be called a princess, since she wasn't born in a royal family. But when and if William becomes a Prince of Wales, the title of heir to the throne, which his father Prince Charles bears now, the Catherine will be able to become the Princess of Wales. Marrying Prince William, 29-year-old Kate turned to be the oldest royal bride in British history. But now this title is occupied by Meghan Markle, who became a wife of Prince Harry at 36. It is believed that Catherine owes her successful marriage to her mother. It was her mother, Carol Middleton, who insisted on choosing St Andrews University in Scotland, where her daughter could meet Prince William. When Prince William broke up with Kate, her mother Carol advised her not to give up and go parties to make the Prince William jealous. And here it goes, soon the lovers were reunited. But according to rumors, in April 2007, during the breakup with Prince William, Kate met another man. That happened when she began to attend nightclubs, readily posing for paparazzi, willing to show Prince William that she doesn't suffer and enjoys her life to the fullest. And, as they say, at that time, Catherine had a short affair with Henry Ropna, a tall, handsome young man from a very healthy family. And it worked. Later, Kate and Prince William were reunited, and the long-awaited wedding of William and Kate in 2011 finally took place. This wedding didn't become the most expensive ceremony of all times. The cost was estimated at $34 million, while the wedding of Prince Charles and Diana cost, by modern standards, $110 million, more than 3 times the cost of Kate and William's wedding. When William is not around, Kate is required to courtesy to all the princes and princesses of the blood. But in practice, this rule is not always observed. The Duchess of Cambridge doesn't have to courtesy to anyone but the Queen. And when her son Prince George will become a king, she will need to courtesy to him, as the rules obligate everyone who is nearby to greet the king. However, we are talking about the officially courtesy, but how it's going to work we will see later. At the end of 2015, the Duke of Edinburgh passed the patronage of the Air Cadets to the Duchess of Cambridge. During an audience at Buckingham Palace, the Duke, as honorary Air Commander-in-Chief, bringing an end to his 63-year association with the Air Training Corps. Kate Middleton has a 3-inch scar that runs down the side of her temple. The ordeal left the Duchess of Cambridge with a 3-inch scar on the side of her head. It's sometimes possible to spot the scar when she is wearing her hair tied up. The incident that led to the scar occurred when Kate was still at school, and it led to the future Duchess having an operation. It seems that Kate and Will have almost matching scars, as Prince William had an incident as a child that also left him with a scar on his forehead. We don't know if Kate Middleton knew of the grey hair that peeked through her chestnut locks on a few occasions in recent years, but Kate is greying, like everyone else. we should mention we'd be happy if the Duchess of Cambridge embraced the grey hair or any other hair color she chooses, but other folks aren't so accepting. When she was expecting the prince's first child, George, this shortcoming of the Duchess caused the disposal of the critics. Kate refused coloring her hair. According to some experts, this could not have a very good effect on her baby. By the way, during the second pregnancy, Kate again had grey hair. But Kate's smile is called perfect. However, her perfect teeth, this is not a gift of nature, but the merit of the French dentist Didier Fillon, the creator of the method of harmonious asymmetry. Didier makes teeth slightly imperfect so they don't look Hollywood style or like white piano case. Kate's style is always elegant and consistent protocol. You may have noticed that Kate wears nylon tights even in the heat. Her favorite option is invisible tights, which are almost indistinguishable to the eye, but they mask skin imperfections. The economic situation in the world is such that even in Buckingham Palace they try to look more wasteful, and Kate often wears clothes and jewelry of democratic brands. She appeared in a dress of £56 and even £45, and the golden rule not to wear one outfit more than once is also not respected by her. And yes, as they say, the family has its black sheep. Kate has relatives that compromise her. Gary Goldsmith, her uncle, was arrested in 2017 following an argument with his wife, Julie Ann, which took place in the street in the early hours in the morning. Witnesses reported seeing Gary knock Julie Ann to the ground and quickly called an ambulance. Gary was later charged with assault by beating and fined £5,000 by the court. And another, the Duchess of Cambridge, rancher relative Katrina Darling, burlesque dancer cousin, who pocketed a six-figure sum to strip for Playboy. According to reports, the 22-year-old quit her job as a banker to focus on her burlesque career after gaining notoriety before royal wedding when her relation to Kate Middleton was relieved. The Duchess's great-grandfather Thomas Harrison was a brother of Katrina's grandmother, making the woman's second cousins once removed. And this lady wasted no time in using her own royal links to her advantage, billing herself as the royal family's closest brush with soft porn. However, Kate is the favorite of the British people now. After waiting almost 10 years for the marriage that every girl dreams about, having survived the attacks of the paparazzi, she passed all the tests with dignity and was accepted by the people of Britain and aristocratic circles. She was often compared to her late mother-in-law, the Princess Diana, thanks to her impeccable style and etiquette. But the main feature of Kate is the transformation of an ordinary British girl in a royal person whose life is now closely watched by the whole world. I do hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please let me know by hitting the thumbs up button. Please also subscribe to this channel, and while you are there, why not hit the notification bell next subscribe button so that YouTube tells you what I've next uploaded. I look forward to speaking to you in my next video. Take care of yourselves. Bye for now.